Saturday night at the Emirates felt like more than just another league game. It felt like Arsenal running a rehearsal for bigger things, doing the job with the calm of a team that expects to win. The scoreline said victory. The performance said something stronger, control. And before we get into the details, let's sit with the table for a second. Arsenal are 6 points clear. 6, not in the mix, not hanging around. Clear, that only means as much as the next result, of course. But it also tells you something about mood and momentum. This is what title chasing looks like when it starts to turn into title leading. Fulham, for long stretches, didn't feel like an opponent as much as an audience. Arsenal took the pressure that usually sits on the home side's shoulders and turned it into routine. And when a team can make high-stakes football look routine, that's when you start to worry if you're anyone behind them. The center of the whole thing was Bukayo's Saka, because of course it was, back in the side, sharp immediately, and playing like someone who didn't come to feel his way into the game. He came and ended early. 9 minutes in, and the message was basically, "I'm fine, thanks for asking." Saka takes on Raul Jimenez, shifts past him with that effortless glide he has, and squares it across the box for Viktor Gyokeres. Tap in, 1-0, and suddenly the night has a direction. It wasn't just a goal, it was a lack of hesitation. No warm-up phase. No gentle reintroduction. Arsenal went straight to incision. Then, just before halftime, the roles flip. This time it's Gyokeres supplying and Saka finishing. The shot bends in, and Baron Leno gets beaten at his near post. For a keeper, that's the kind you replay in your head all week, because it feels like getting caught at home doing something you shouldn't be doing. 2-0, and the game starts to feel less like a contest and more like a countdown. Now, we have to talk properly about Gyokeres, because the noise around him has been strange. He's on 21 goals in all competitions. That's not adapting. That's not potential. That's production. And he added another before the break was even done, a powerful header from Leandro Trossard's cross. Thumping, decisive, and basically a stamp on the match. And yet somehow there's still been this faint hum of doubt since he arrived from Sporting. As if the goals are going to suddenly stop counting, because someone doesn't like the aesthetic. If you're scoring 20-plus in your first season at Arsenal, you're in rare company. The last one to do that was Alexis Sanchez. That's the level of debut year output we're talking about. It also matters how Arsenal got through this match, because it wasn't just about the stars doing star things. Mikel Arteta rotated, but he didn't rotate like a manager hoping to survive a tricky night. He rotated like a manager with a plan, and the plan worked. Miles Lewis-Skelly in midfield looked composed and switched on, like this stage doesn't bother him. Ricardo Calafari pushed on and made things happen, unlucky not to end up on the score sheet, with a moment that had the bar shaking and another that didn't stand. Eberechi's added a bit of smoothness between the lines, that extra bit of fluidity that keeps Arsenal moving even when they're not at full throttle. That's the key phrase, functional rotation. Not changes that break your rhythm, but changes that keep the machine running. That's how squads win titles. Not by being brilliant once a week, but by being reliable twice a week when the calendar turns ugly. And one decision, in particular, screamed bigger picture. Saka comes off at halftime. Job done, legs protected, and Tuesday very much in mind. Sometimes management is about bravery. Sometimes it's about not being greedy when the game is already won. Because no one should pretend this was only about Fulham. This was about the league, the pressure, and the teams watching from behind. Manchester City have games in hand, as they always seem to. They lurk, they calculate, they squeeze. That's what they do. But Arsenal can only control one thing, winning their matches and making the scoreboard suffocating for everyone else. That's what this did. The goal difference improves. The goals scored tick up. And the momentum feels like it's building into something heavier. And the context that makes all of this even louder is the number attached to it. Arsenal are 3 games away from ending a 22-year wait. That's not a little side note. That's the weight sitting on every touch, every set piece, every substitution. The impressive part is that the team doesn't look crushed by it. They look organized by it. Which brings us to the looming shadow over the whole week. Atletico Madrid. 1-1 from the first leg, semi-final at the Emirates, and everything about this Fulham performance felt like a prelude. The early control, the efficiency, the way Arsenal looked slightly arrogant in possession, like they know you can't get the ball off them unless they allow it. If they play like that against Atletico, it's not just that they have a chance, it's that they have belief. And belief is dangerous because it changes how you play the key moments. It changes how you defend a set piece at 1-1. It changes whether you take a shot or recycle possession. It changes whether you panic. That's what this match said out loud. Arsenal aren't just chasing anymore. They're starting to act like they control the narrative. For now, at least. So the verdict? Professional, efficient, and just a little ominous if you're anyone trying to catch them. And for City, the next match is never just the next match, is it? You're not only playing the opponent, you're playing the scoreboard Arsenal keep updating. That's it for this episode. The league march continues. The European night approaches, and Arsenal, brace yourself for this, are starting to look like a team that expects the big moments to suit them.